But what happens tomorrow? We've taken our viewers through the fact that he's at Trump Tower. He's going to submit himself, surrender himself to the Manhattan DA, and there'll be a 30-minute process. He's likely to get a mugshot, have his fingerprints recorded. But we haven't spoken about a potential gag order. Could that happen?
Yeah. That, to me, Laura, is the most interesting thing about tomorrow. Yes, it could happen. Why would it happen? It's not at all unusual in high-profile cases for courts to issue gag orders to all the participants saying, look, you can't go on TV and talk about this. You can't go into the newspapers and talk about this. Why? Because it sort of pollutes the ability to get a jury that hasn't read about the case or hasn't formed opinions about the case beforehand. So it's sort of protecting the disinterested nature of the jury under our system. So gag orders in high-profile cases are not uncommon. If there's a gag order entered in this case, and anybody, maybe Donald Trump, violates it, that's a criminal charge in and of itself. It's called contempt of court, and it could land any violator in jail for 30 days or have a various fine or something like that. It's a serious charge. So I'll be looking tomorrow to see if a gag order is entered because Donald Trump has indicated he's going to have a national address tomorrow night from Mar-a-Lago. If he gives that address under a gag order, it will be very interesting to watch and see.
Oh, wow. OK, this is a whole new element that we haven't really discussed. So would the judge in this case decide on his own that a gag order was required, or would Alvin Bragg submit that that would be required? And if that's the case, surely he wouldn't be that politically stupid.
It could happen a couple different ways. Alvin Bragg could ask for it. Donald Trump could ask for it, because keep in mind, Alvin Bragg could also go to the press and start airing out all the things in the indictment to try and sort of make Donald Trump look bad, or the court can do it on its own volition. And that is oftentimes what happens. So again, if that happens tomorrow, what it means is that anybody who violates the gag order, you don't know exactly what the gag order says, but let's say he says you can't talk about this case in the press. Okay. And Donald Trump goes on TV tomorrow night and gives a speech about the case and violates the gag order. He could be found in contempt of court, but he's also going to be in Florida. Yeah. Once you're in Florida and you're in contempt of court in New York, you don't get in trouble unless you go back to New York. So you can foresee a circumstance where Donald Trump says, you know what? I went to New York. I surrendered. I saw the thing against me. It's completely politically motivated. They put a gag order on me when I'm running for president, which is unfair. I'm never going back to New York again, which, of course, means it falls squarely in the lap of the Florida governor, who is
Ron DeSantis. And he already said that he wouldn't extradite him.
Yeah. So you can't, if you had written this script up, Laura, for an episode of The West Wing here, which is one of our or a movie, people would throw it out as being completely not credible. But it is exactly where we are as a nation tomorrow.
It certainly is. And also just the fact that there's even this pretense that you could find a completely objective jury amid this circus makes a mockery of your legal system just a little bit, Mick Mulvaney.
It does, but imagine what happens if the charges are as weak as I think they are based upon the leaks, okay? Donald Trump is tried. Donald Trump, like Senator John Edwards 20 years before him, is found not guilty. What a huge boost that would be to Donald Trump. Politically, culturally, he could look back and say, I proved that this was a political witch hunt. Even in Manhattan, people who don't like me found me not guilty of this. So the potential swings here politically are dramatic. And honestly, I think Trump is actually starting to enjoy it now. I'm reading reports about how the Trump team was originally stunned that the indictments came down when they did. They thought they might be much later, if at all. But Trump has now managed to turn this into something he's really good at, which is a television program. He's a master showman. Today was extraordinarily orchestrated. The media coverage here was unbelievable, the likes of which we've not seen since he left office. It'll be the same tomorrow. Donald Trump is in his element. You'd be foolish to bet against Donald Trump politically by the time this thing is all over.
Yeah, just fascinating, this gag order element that you've just thrown in there. Thanks for that grenade, Mick Mulvaney. Before I let you go, you know him well. How would he be preparing for this mugshot, do you think? Do you think he'll be using this with an eye to make it a focus of his campaign? Will he go the blue steel? Will he go the big smile with the pearly whites? Or will it be neutral? What do you think?
Oh, no, it's going to be the white shirt with the red tie, the blue suit. And to paraphrase, because I don't have it in front of me, I was reading it while I was waiting to come on the show. A guy who used to work for me, one of our deputy press secretaries, was quoted as saying, in his best Trump voice, it's going to be the most manly, the most virile, the most fabulous mugshot ever taken in the history of the United States. This is what Donald Trump is thinking tonight as he goes to sleep.
Yeah, that is pretty good from you as well. I like it. Mick Mulvaney will speak to you tomorrow. Thanks so much.